Hello, this is Miss Pat from San Luis Public Library. This month in Science Scouts, we are going to be promoting Star Wars. So May the 4th be with you. For those of you who know Star Wars, we have a lot of books right now on display. You'll see things with Darth Vader. We have a couple of events going on that we will be doing out in the garden, so you guys can come in ahead of time. You guys need to pre-register ahead of time, and you'll be making a lightsaber and a mask, or decorating a mask. But today, in honor of May the 4th, we're going to be doing fractions, okay? And we're going to be comparing Star Wars fractions. So first we'll read our book for today. And it's not a Star Wars book. They don't have a lot of Star Wars books on fractions. Jump, Kangaroo, Jump by Stuart J. Murphy. I don't think they have any kangaroos in Star Wars either. Okay. Jump, Kangaroo, Jump. It's field day, yelled Kangaroo. There were 12 campers in all, a kookaburra, an emu, 2 platypuses, 3 koalas, 4 dingoes, and Kangaroo himself. They warmed up as they waited for Ruby, the kangaroo counselor, to start the events. Finally, Ruby blew her whistle and said, "We need 2 teams for tug of war. Let's split the group into halves so that each team has the same number of campers." They counted off into 2 teams. There were 6 campers on each team, and that makes 1/2 and 1/2. Each team had half of the campers. 6 is 1/2 of 12. The campers tugged and grunted, then they tugged some more. Both teams tugged very hard. For a while, it looked like Kangaroo's team might win, but with one giant tug, the other team won instead. Again, Ruby's whistle blew. Now it's time for the swimming relay race. There are 3 lanes in the pool. Let's split into thirds so that we have an equal number of campers in each lane. They counted off into 3 teams. There were 4 campers on each team. Each team had 1/3 of the campers. 4 is 1/3 of 12. They kicked and splashed, and then they kicked some more. All the campers swam as fast as they could. This time, Kangaroo's team came in second. Ruby blew her whistle once more. Now we'll use our 4 canoes for a race on the lake. We need to split the group into fourths so that we have an equal number of campers in each canoe. They counted off into 4 teams. There were 3 campers on each team. Each team had 1/4 of the campers. 3 is 1/4 of 12. They paddled and pulled, and then they paddled some more. They paddled as hard as they could. They did their very best, but Kangaroo's team tied for last place. He wished he could win just once. "Cheer up, Kangaroo," said Ruby. "You still have one more chance." "Okay, everyone," Ruby yelled, and then blew her whistle extra loud. "Let's line up for the last event of the day, the long jump. This time, you're on your own." Each camper took a turn jumping. Finally, it was Kangaroo's turn. Everyone yelled, "Jump, Kangaroo, jump!" He closed his eyes, sprang forward on his big hind legs, and jumped as far as he could. Kangaroo looked around in surprise as everyone cheered. Then Ruby announced, "Kangaroo not only won the long jump, he set a new camp record. Hooray for Kangaroo!" Okay, and then at the back of the book, they give you a couple of ideas on what to do for fractions. So we're going to give you some ideas on what to do for fractions. When you guys come in, you're going to get an envelope. Okay, it looks like this. Comes out the top. Okay, now we want to leave this page in here. I already took these ones out. Okay, but leave this page in. They're all going to be in there. So you just got to figure out which side is done. You're going to want to cut out the giant rectangles. Okay, you don't want to cut out on those little skinny lines. You want to cut out on the big black rectangle lines. Okay, I want to show you what you're going to do. And like I said, there's about 3 pages. And you can cut out all of them at one time. You can cut them out a couple at a time if you just want to practice. I am not going to cut out all of them. I am going to cut out at least 3. So I have 3 right now. Right? And this one you can see, he just kind of has his feet for the Stormtrooper. This one has a whole body, but there's a line going across this middle because here's the other half. Okay, so we have 1 half, we have 2 halves, and this one, we're going to talk about what that one is. So let's find out what the words are for the fractions. Okay. All right, so a fraction means it's a part of a whole. This is a picture of half a pizza. It is cut into 2 pieces, right? And they wrote down 1/2. Now, sometimes you'll see it written as a 1/, okay? And it might just be at an angle. It might not be a top and bottom. Okay, it'll be a left/right kind of thing. So the numerator, big word here. Numerator is how many equal parts you have, and it's on top of the fraction. Okay, the denominator is the number of the equal pieces needed to make a whole, and it's down on the bottom. So see how I got D and D there? Trying to remember that. Denominator is down on the bottom. And the picture here tells you the numerator is how many equal parts do you have? Well, we have 3 parts of this pizza. That's my numerator. Denominator was how many did we have to start with? For the whole pizza, we had 4. We had 1, 2, 3, 4. That's my denominator. Okay, and it goes on the bottom. All right, so in this case, count the equal number of equal parts that you see in this picture. What would be the denominator for this one? All right, we're going to count all of them, even this piece that's here, because that makes up the whole pie. I think this is pumpkin pie. So let's count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So my denominator, the number that goes on the bottom, is going to be my 8. Okay, how many pieces are being taken away? 1. That would go on top. 1/8 of my pie is about to disappear. Somebody's about to eat it. Can we do a fraction for this pie? No. All right, if you look at how this thing got cut, here in my household, people are going to argue, I want the big piece. We have a triangle here. We got a couple of triangles. We got a couple of rectangles. We have smaller triangles, more rectangles. These are not cut equally. We can't do a fraction for this. We can say we ate a piece of the pie, but they're not going to be a fraction because they have to be equal pieces, equal parts. All right, so how many pieces have been eaten? That means how many are gone. Okay, and I already gave you the denominator for this one. Denominator means we had 4 pieces to start with, but I want you to tell me the numerator. That's the top number. That's why I have a question mark here. How many pieces are missing here? And if you tell me 1, you're right. 1/4 of this pizza is gone. So let's look at this one. This one got cut into 8 pieces. So my number 8 is the denominator. Somebody took a smaller piece than my 4th, and they only took 1 piece. So again, I have 1/8. Now look at this. I have 1, 2, 3 pieces. That's a weird kind of way to cut the pizza pie. I've never seen it cut in thirds, right? But they ate 1/3. Okay, so that would be my numerator. How many pieces are gone? Now, if I change that question and I say, how many pieces are left? My numerator would be different, wouldn't it? It would be 3 pieces are left. 3/4 of my pie is still here. 7/8 of my pizza is still here. 2/3 of my pizza is still here. Okay, so watch the wording. And these are going to be your numerator. So look at the denominators. Right, do you see that the bigger the number, the smaller the piece? Right, so here, my denominator is a 2. I got 2 whole pieces here to make 1 whole pie, right? Here, I have 3. Well, you guys have already learned 3 is bigger than 2. But look at my 1/3 and my 1/2. So in this case, my fractions don't work the same way. Whole numbers, 3 is bigger than 2. Well, more than 2, but not in fractions. The bigger my number on the bottom, the smaller my pieces are getting. Okay, same size circle. I cut it into 10 pieces over here. 10 sounds like a really big number. But if you only get 1 of those 10 pieces, that's a really small piece compared to 1/2. Right? And even though 10 whole number is bigger than 2, 1/10 is not bigger than 1/2. Okay? So when we say 1/8, here's 1/8, is less than 1/4, we mean it's smaller. This 1 piece out of 8 is smaller than this 1 piece out of 4. And this is how you would write it. Okay, and here's one of those fractions where I said it's 1/8. The 8 would be on the bottom. In this case, the 4 is on the bottom. Now you see this little arrow here in the middle? That means less than. So how do we know which way it goes? Okay, so the symbol for less than has the arrow on the left. The symbol for more than has the arrow on the right. Think of these symbols, though, as mouths. And the open part is going towards the bigger piece. And the point is going towards the smallest piece. Okay, and they tell you right here, if both your denominators are the same, like 1/4 and 3/4, we both have 4s for my denominator, the alligator wants to eat the biggest numerator. Because 1/4 is less than 3/4. Remember, we said less than means the point is on the left. So his head is pointing towards the 1/4, but his mouth is going towards the 3/4. And you can look at this right over here. Here's 3/4. This is a lot more than 1/4, right? Now, if your numerators are the same and your denominators are different, look at this, 3/4 and 3/8. Okay, Well, 3/4 means I'm all the way over here. Okay. Remember, it means I only had 4 pieces and I ate 3. The other one means I had 8 pieces and I only ate 3. And I still got all this left. Okay, the alligator is going to eat the smaller denominator. Remember we said the bigger the number on the bottom, the smaller the piece. So if the numerators are the same, this is a really small piece. So 3/4 is more than 3/8. Okay, so it points to this direction. You're going to need to know that for the activity we're going to do. So again, you're going to have your fractions. Okay. You kind of cut a couple of pieces here. I want to make sure you guys can see the lines. And we're going to do compare the Stormtrooper fractions. So you could cut out all the pieces, shuffle them up, and put some fractions on there. So I have these two. So I have, got to look at this one, and I want you to write on the bottom what it's going to be. So this is out of 2 pieces. Okay, and out of 2 pieces, so that goes on the bottom. I only have one of those pieces, right? So what we'll write on the bottom is 1/2. Now, I'm going to look at this piece. He's got 1, 2, 3 pieces. And I have all 3 of them. Okay? And if you're not sure, the numbers are written on the back, so you can double check. Okay? Now we're going to put in the middle. You guys can either use the marker, or on one of your sheets, you have these signs, and you can cut them out as well. And I even drew a little thing that says, remember, this one eats the big number. This one eats the big number going that way. Make sure you're cutting out, or you're putting in the right one. So I'm going to cut out both. Maybe you'll even do equal. If you got a whole number, like 2 2s, 2 halves, and 3 3s, that's a whole. So those are going to be equal ones. All right. So, whoops, I got it backwards, sorry. So I have my greater than and less than numbers. So let's look. Which one, if I was that hungry alligator, which one am I going to want to eat? Just the bottom half or the whole? I'm going to want this guy, right? So I'm going to take my arrow and I'm going to make sure my mouth faces the I'm going to push this down. Okay. So my mouth is now facing towards the whole one, because I don't want to eat that one. Now, if I flip the sides that they're on, I can turn that around. And he is greater than, right? My 3/3 is greater than 1/2. Now, if I put this here, I have different denominators and I have different numerators. All right. And the good thing about the marker is that it will wipe off. Okay, so I'm going to write 3/3 and 2/2. Okay. And is one of my stormtroopers bigger than the other one? So I could write down equals, because even though I have different denominators and different numerators, I have a whole stormtrooper. They're both equal. Okay. So this is and then when you're all done with all the pieces and they're all done, all cut out, the good thing about this is you just take the paper and you can stick them right back in here. And you have a nice little envelope to review. Okay, you can put all your pieces back in there. So I know this wasn't a crafty activity, but it is a good review for fractions. It's a good game, and it's a way to celebrate May the 4th. So happy Star Wars Day, and I look forward to seeing you guys out in the garden. Please pre-register. We're May 8th, May 22nd, 11 o'clock in the morning or 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Okay, you have to be ages 6 to 11. See you then. Bye.